Hi guys, welcome back to another amazing tutorial on Laksh. Now in this tutorial, we'll be learning how we can implement NextAuth in our Next.js application. Okay, so to start this video, first of all, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and here, first of all, we have to create a Next.js application. To create a Next.js application, first of all, I'll go to nextjs.org, and here you can see if I'll zoom in a little bit, you will see that I'm getting this particular command to create a Next.js application. Let me click on this copy icon, and I have copied the command. Okay, so first of all, uh, let me go inside my folder. Okay, so here inside this folder, I will create a next tutorial folder. Okay, so that folder already exists actually. So let me just open that. And here I'll be setting up the entire authentication flow. Let me open the PowerShell window here. Okay, I'll open my PowerShell window here. Now do a right click and paste them. Okay, npx create next step at the rate latest. Okay, so it's asking the name of my project. What I'll do is I'll specify a dot so that all the necessary files will be spread out in this folder only. Then would you like to use TypeScript? Yes, I'll be using TypeScript. And then would you like to use ESLint? Yes. So just go through all this process. Okay, I'm not using SRC directory, although it is compulsory to manage a folder structure. So, but I'm not using any SRC directory for now. And then would you like to use app router? Yes. Turbo pack. Okay, so I'll be using turbo pack. Then would you like to customize the import alias? No, I'll be not customizing the import alias. And let us wait for some time till our Next.js application is created. So now as you can see, it has created our Next.js application. Now what I will do is I will go ahead and open this with my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so after opening this with my Visual Studio Code, you can see there are a couple of files here. We'll start our development server, npm run dev. Now, after running this npm run dev, it will start my development server. Okay, let us open this and let me just snooze my Windsurf AI. Okay, now here you can see that it is the default page which has been created by Next.js. And then what I will do is I will go ahead and install some packages. First of all, I'll install Mongoose. Okay. So what is Mongoose? Mongoose basically helps us to connect our application to the MongoDB driver. So if you have not yet installed MongoDB on your system, go ahead and download the community server by using this link. I'll be providing that in the description box. Okay, and here you can download the official MSI package from MongoDB community downloads. After downloading it, what you will see is this UI. MongoDB Compass, and you will have no connections in the beginning. You have to click this plus icon, and you will be provided this localhost URL. Okay, so after going through that, you can connect your local host right here. So I have a couple of things also. I have two clusters connected, but I'll be not connecting to them right now. I have a couple of databases right here. You can see I have a couple of databases that I've created. I work upon many projects. Okay, so I have a couple of databases. Don't worry, you will not have so much of databases. Basically, you will have this admin database, this config database, this local database. Okay, these three databases will be present by default in a MongoDB complex. Apart from that, you can also go ahead and use MongoDB Atlas. Okay, if you are using MongoDB Atlas, so you can use the free tag to create a database on the cloud. I'll be not using this one right now because we're not deploying this application anymore. Next thing, we have to install NextAuth. Okay, so there are two things. You can either use NextAuth or you can use their new auth.js.dev, which is the authentication for the web. Okay, now why I am not using this, because you can see they're still in the beta mode. So it means that I cannot readily use it in production. So I'll be not using Auth.js version 5, rather I'll be using Auth.js version 4. As soon as they update it, as soon as it becomes stable, I'll be making a new video on this. Let us get started with NextAuth.js. Okay, now to install everything, what I will do is I will open a new terminal window and I'll write here npm I mongoose, okay, and next dash auth. Now if you'll use this @beta, if you'll use this @beta, it it will just install the Next.js Next.auth version 5. But as I'm not using that beta, @beta, so what it will do is it will by default install the Next.auth version 4 right now. So I will hit enter. Okay, it has started installing. Now here you can see it has installed both of these packages. If I'll see my package.json, you can see I'm getting this Next.auth and this Mongoose package right here. Okay, so first of all, let us go ahead and create a lib directory. Okay, I'll create a lib directory and here I'll create a db.ts file. db.ts file. Okay, inside this db.ts file, what I'll do is I'll enter import mongoose from mongoose. Okay, import mongoose from mongoose. And what I will do is I will go ahead and search for an example MongoDB with Next.js. Okay, I'll go ahead and search for this. I know how to connect, but let me see the official documentation. So how to use MongoDB with Next.js. So we have this particular uh, example right here. Okay, so actually they have provided this part. Okay, so sample influx, they have provided a sam. Okay, what we can do is actually, let us go to next dot and here inside adapters, we have the MongoDB adapter. So what I will do is I will use the MongoDB adapter by next dot. Okay, I will use this MongoDB adapter. Now to use this MongoDB adapter, what I have to do is I have to install these two packages. I think I don't need this Mongoose package also. So let us do one thing. Let us just paste it here. Sorry, not here. Not here. I will just go ahead and uninstall Mongoose. I will uninstall Mongoose. I don't require that anymore. Uninstall Mongoose. I'll be using this documentation writer to configure MongoDB adapter. Okay. So here, sorry, npm uninstall mongoose. So I'll be uninstalling mongoose and I'll be installing auth @auth slash mongodb adapter and mongodb. Okay. So what I will do is I will go ahead and now what I'll do is I'll copy this particular code here and paste it right here. So you can see they have created a code to create a Mongo client, okay, with some promises right here. And here you can see they have provided a process.env.mongodb URL. So we have to create a .env file here. And inside this .env file, let me just copy this particular mongodb underscore URI. And here what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add my mongodb URL. Localhost 27017, okay, slash next dot dash tutorial. Okay. So by default, what happens is NextAuth doesn't handle your register part. So we have to create a register method from the scratch. We'll be creating that. Apart from that, NextAuth is responsible for. Wait a second. I think I accidentally copied the new documentation. Okay. Uh, Okay, so actually, they're by default taking me to this particular documentation to Auth.js.dev. Okay, I don't think there is any problem in going through this. Okay, so next thoughts. Okay, so they're by default taking me to this page. I don't think there should be any problem in configuring our MongoDB adapter. Okay, so I've installed all the required documentation, required packages. Okay, so I was telling that NextAuth is only responsible for login part. Either it may be using credentials, using web pass keys, or using any third-party OAuth library like Google, GitHub, Apple, or any other OAuth part. So if you'll see under the providers, you can see the providing Apple, Auth 0, then we have Discord, Dropbox, email. Okay, so email, what happens is in email provider, actually you send magic links to the user. Okay, so a verification token is sent to the email address provided. So by this token, what you can do is the token is valid for 24 hours. Okay, so by clicking on the link, an account is created for the user and they are signed in. And what happens is the account is created if the user uses this verification token or the magic link token. Okay, we'll be seeing that later on in this video. So first of all, let us also configure next dot. Okay, so here inside my lib, I'll create a auth options .ts. Okay, inside this auth options.ts, what I will do is I will export auth options. Okay, auth options, or you select this auth options, export const auth options. Okay, now we have to declare a type that is coming from next export const auth options, which has a type of auth options. Okay, now here what can I do is I have to provide this providers array and callbacks array. Okay, we have also strategy. So what we have is session strategy. Strategy will be JWT. We'll be using the JWT strategy, and I'll be showing you how we can customize the JWT and the sessions. Okay, so first of all, let us go ahead and write a credential. Credential should come from this credentials. Okay, so then let us provide in the name, that is credentials. Okay, credentials, and then if you hit control space or command space, you will get all this auto suggestions right here. Okay, so we have this credentials which will be one of the object. Okay, so name will have email. Okay, name will have email. Wait a second. Let me see the documentation. So here we have configuration, providers, we have credentials provider. Now credentials will have an object. Okay, so this should be actually like this email. Okay, label should provide a label, email. Okay, type, type will be email. Okay, placeholder, placeholder will be example @gmail.com. Okay, so this is an example. Now what's throwing errors? Let us see. Okay, what happens is actually you need to also provide in this async authorize. Let us just do that. Async authorize. Async authorize. Okay, async authorize. Now what I will do is I'll provide in here, provide this password right here. Okay, label password. Then we'll have this type password and then placeholder. password. Okay. So then what we can do is we can write a credentials. Okay. Credentials, comma request. And okay, credentials can have okay, credentials. Okay, so what it's telling is not assignable to time. Okay, so you have to also provide REQ here. Okay, so now what we can do is actually, so what we have to do is we have to set up models. Now I don't have to code this much because I already have this windsurf. So you can use this windsurf plugin to make your workflow easier. Okay, to make your workflow easier, you can use this windsurf plugin because I don't want to waste time in creating this models here. Let us just import mongoose. Sorry. Uh, Actually, what happened is I don't have Mongoose here. So what can I do is directly use this MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB. Okay, so wait a second. Now MongoDB Node.js driver. Okay, so we have to use this MongoDB Node.js driver, and let us go ahead and see how we can use this MongoDB Node.js driver. Okay. So to use this, what you can do is collection equals to db.collection documents. Okay, so let us see inside our db.ts what we have. Const client is equal to await client promise what we are exporting right here. Okay, so we have to write here const users is equal to first you have to do like this await client.connect. Okay, await client.connect. Then what we can do is const db is equal to client.db. Okay, client.db. So client.db database name, I can say it's automatically providing me some suggestions. Okay, but let us just snooze the auto completions. Now const users is equal to db.collection. Then we'll provide it users. Okay, this is our collection. And I'll write here that if colon set const exists is equal to await users dot find one. Okay, email. Okay, so users dot find one this. So if not of exist, throw new error, throw new error. User was user not found. Okay. Else, else, what we can do is const is valid is equal to we have to install another package that is bcrypt.js. Okay. So let us just go ahead and import bcrypt from bcrypt.js. Const is valid, so await bcrypt.compare. So first of all, password that is credentials.password. Okay. And then user dot, sorry. So let us just name it as user. Okay. So user dot Awesome. Okay, so it's actually raising error. Okay, so it's telling that no overload matches this call. Password string, hash string. Okay, so argument of string and undefined. Okay, so what you have to do is like this. Wait a second. Okay, so we have to assert like this. Then if not of is valid, not of is valid, throw new error, throw new error, password is invalid. Okay. Else, else return what we should return. We should return the entire user. Okay. We should return the entire user and okay, we should return the entire user or let us say we will return ID which is user dot underscore ID, email user dot user dot email. Okay, let us just return these two things. Okay, now what I will be doing is we'll be customizing the session. Okay, let us go ahead and go for callbacks right here. And we have a couple of callbacks. Mainly we need these two things, async session and this JWT. Okay, so what I will do is I will write a async session. Okay, async session. Here we have session callbacks. I think this should be this should be an object. Okay, this should be an object. Async session. It takes these three things: session, user, and token. Okay. So first of all, we have to write a return session to avoid any errors. I will write a if user. So dot under session dot id is equal to user dot id. Okay. Now what happens is it's saying that property id does not exist on type session. Now to fix this error, we have to create a types folder. Inside the types folder, let us create next dash auth .d.ts. Now we have to declare this global namespace. So first of all, let us import next-auth. So declare module next-auth. Okay. Declare module next-auth. And okay, so let us see for TypeScript, what do you have in TypeScript session or section? Let us see what do you have. So you can see that how we can extend this session is by using this part. Okay, so we have to write a interface session. Okay, interface session and user ID string ampersand default session default session user. Okay, so ampersand default session user. Now, okay, so session dot user dot id. Okay, now I think we shouldn't get any error. Now this is still throwing some errors. Property of dot then are incompatible. Proper promise ID is not assignable to type. Promise like user none. I think we are facing some issues. What is the type of this? What's the issue with this part? I don't understand actually. So user. Okay, so wait a second. Let us see. Type this. You're still getting this error. Property ID. Let us see. Hmm, okay, so what you have to do is actually to string. Okay, now the error is resolved because this ID property was missing on this user, so we had to fix that. Okay, actually we were using this part. Okay, we were doing this part. Let us see methods dot ID. Okay, so now let us go ahead and also write here async JWT, okay, async JWT, and here with this async JWT, what we require is okay, async JWT token account and profile, token account and profile. Okay, first of all, let us just go ahead and return the token to avoid any errors. Now, if do we have any other things right now? So token account, okay, user also is there. So let us just also bring in the user. Okay, so I think we are done with the configuration of our auth options. Now let us just go ahead and set up everything else. Okay, what I will do is inside this app folder, let us create one API folder. Inside that we have to create auth. Inside that auth, we'll have two folders, mainly register, and another folder will be a capture route NextAuth. Now this capture route NextAuth will have this route.ps. Okay, so const Okay, so here we'll have const handler is equal to next dot. Okay, next dot, and here we have to provide in the auth options. Export handler as get handler as post. Okay, so after doing this, let us just go ahead and test our API if this is working properly. So before testing the API, we have to also set one secret, that is next.secret. So let me open my git bash. You can also use any other thing if you want. So I'll type in OpenSSL ran base 64 and to just generate a stall for my next secret. Remember, if you're creating the secret once, do not try to change it, otherwise your users will not be able to authenticate. So next auth underscore secret. So this secret is particularly required while we are using the JWT strategy. So we have to provide a secret process.env dot next dot underscore secret. Okay, so now let us just try to go slash API slash auth slash sign in. Let us check what happens here. Yeah, now you can see we are getting this. So if I'll try to log in, if I'll try to log in, so it will throw one error. You can see that user not found. Okay, you can see it's telling me that user was not found. To create the user, we have to create a register functionality. Okay, so import client from this, import decrypt from decrypt.js. Okay, now export async function get. Okay, sorry, async function post. Now here request to be type annotated as next request. Okay, now await client.connect. Okay, const db is equal to client.db. We'll have next dot dash tutorial. Next dot dash tutorial. Now const users is equal to db dot collection. We'll have users right now, users, and try catch. Sorry, try catch. Let us move this here. Okay, so we if we have error, if you have error, so let us just write here return next response dot json. Okay, message, or let us say we'll write here error internal server error. Okay, and then let us write here status of 500. Okay, so here first of all I'll write here const exists is equal to await user. Okay, so I'll write here in a second users dot find one. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to write a const username, sorry, email comma password is equal to await request dot json. Okay, request dot json, And here what can I do is use await user.find one by email address. We'll find the user by email address. So if exists, okay, through or let us just return this next response. Okay, status 400, user already say email already taken. Okay, else, wait a second, is there any problem? Okay, so I have to write else here only, else, okay, const new user is equal to users dot insert await users dot insert one. Okay, so we'll be inserting email and password will be hashed password. So we have to store passwords in hashed form, which are a one way to the password. It means that if you type the password, you can reach the hash, but there is no way of reaching the password from the hashed password. Okay, so a letter bcrypt.hash. So I will use my password that is coming from request.json and salt number 10. You can provide any larger number if you want. You can also provide 18 if you want for extra security. Now then, after creating this user, I can again send a next response.json, the status code of 201, user account created, successful. Okay, so after doing this things, so this should be success. Okay, so after doing these things, what I will do is I will just go ahead and send a post request to 3000 slash API slash auth slash register, send a post request, body, raw, JSON data, email. Okay, okay. So here I'll send a password. So after sending it, let us wait for some time and it should send us back a response. Sending request. Okay, so I think it has. Okay, so user account created successfully. Let us go inside our MongoDB Compass and let us check whether it has created any new user or not. So I'll connect to this, and here we have NextAuth tutorial. And inside users, you can see we have this users right here. Okay. Also, what you can do is actually you can do one thing that you can store another part. Okay, let us store another part that is join. Okay, join. Let us say this is new date, new date, and here inside auth options. After the user is logged in, okay, after the user is logged in, what we can do is actually we can write users find one and update. Okay, users dot find one and update. So I can find the user by credentials dot email. Okay, then what can I do is dollar set last login to new date. Okay, so let's just wait a second. Okay. So after doing this, I hope we can do everything right now. So let us send the request again. Okay. I have sent the request again. So it will take longer time. Now user account created successfully. Let us just refresh this part and join. You can see the join date. And if I'll try to log in now, okay. If I try to log in now, I hope it should log in me without any errors. Okay, so it will take some time. Let us wait. And if it redirects us to our home page, that means we have implemented the logic correctly. It will take some time. It shouldn't take so long time. So let us just wait. It's okay. So let us just refresh this, and you can see we are also getting this last login. Now this is amazing. This is amazing. Okay. So okay. So if I'll show you the inspect console. Okay. Wait a second. Inside application, we have this next dot session token. Okay. Session token. Can I copy this? JWT.io. Okay. So here we have this JWT.io website where we can decode our payload. Okay. Decode our payload. So let us paste it here. And you can see it should include a dot. Okay. Actually, it's not easy to decode this token. So what we can do is now, let us create a middleware.ts file. Okay. Let us configure a middleware.ts file. So let us see how we can configure a middleware. So I think there must be some guides, basics. Let us search for that. Okay. So here we have this middleware. Okay. Now you can see that. Okay, so matches the pages config. Okay, so actually what we can do is we can configure this middleware. Let us copy this. Let us copy this. And what I will do is I'll paste it right here. I'll put a middleware.ts at the root level. Paste it here. Now after pasting this here, let us see what do we get here. So do we get any token? No, we don't get any token. Okay, let us see if it compile middleware. So let us reload this and let us see what happens here. So do we get the token? No. Mm, compile not found page. What happened here? So let us see about what will happen. Mm, with results, we have a NextAuth.secret configure. Middleware.ts. Hmm. Let us see. let me know one thing. When we are calling this function, let us see if I try to go to this slash admin page. Okay, so we don't have any token. Why we don't get any token? Yeah, we are getting the token. Yeah, we are getting this token, and here you can see we are getting the ID right here. Okay, so here you can see we are getting the ID, which is obviously the Mongoose ID. So if you'll see, this is obviously the Mongoose ID. If you'll see next tutorial, you can see this is the Mongoose ID that we are getting right here. This is the Mongoose ID, but we are getting right here. So let me just close this. Let me just close this and call back to in slash admin. We have to log in again. I don't think we should log in again because we're already logged in. Hmm. Oh yeah. So uh, actually, what's happening is that it's like telling that if we have okay, if token return if token return true, if else return false. Okay, so let us try this. Now, if I'll go to slash admin, now, yeah, now it works. What was happening is we are not encoding anything like this part. What is means previously it was written like if there is any role inside the token, so if it is equal to admin, so show the admin panel will be not just running that. Okay, will be not just running that. So here I will do something like this. So if anyone has the token, okay, so let us just write here slash dashboard. Okay, slash dashboard. Now, do you have any other callback methods? I don't think so. We have any other callback methods. Okay, so let us see. Here, let us see. What do you have? Any other things? Function middleware. Okay, so let us write a function middleware request. Okay, or let us just will not type annotate with anything. Okay, so let us provide a comma here. Okay, so const token is equal to const token is equal to let us say request dot next auth dot token. Okay, if not of token, if not of token, I don't think we require this part. Um, let us remove this and see what happens. Okay, so the modular function will only be invoked if authorize returns true. Okay, if authorize returns true, so let us see what about callbacks. Do we have only this required? No. Okay, so this is actually not required. Let us just only providing this middleware function. Okay, if not of token, ampersand uh, const path is equal to request dot left URL dot path name. Okay, and ampersand path dot starts with, okay, path dot starts with slash dashboard. So what I will do is return next response dot redirect slash auth slash login. Okay, else nothing. Return next response dot next. Okay, next response dot next. Or else what we can do is else if token ampersand path dot starts with slash auth. Okay, slash auth. So what we can do is we can redirect the user to slash dashboard page. Okay, so error parsing this invalid route source. So let us see match. So file system convention. I want to see middleware matcher config. Okay, I want to see something. I want to actually match. Okay, so slash auth slash star. Okay, so now this should match everything. And also let us see the exam. Let us ask Windsurf, okay, to explain this. Okay, so I have asked Windsurf to explain this code block. Okay, so it checks if a user is authenticated when they try to access the slash board or slash auth routes. Okay, so if they are redirected to if they're authenticated and tries to access the dashboard, they are now redirected to the login page, and the user is if the user is authenticated and tries to access slash auth, they're redirected to the slash dashboard. Okay, so let us see if uh, this works. If this works, okay, if this works. So let us try to again. Now in this auth options part, what we have to do is we have to provide your pages, sign in, okay, slash auth slash login. Okay. So let us create this pages. Let us create those pages. So slash auth. This is my auth folder inside which I'll have this login. Inside which I'll have this uh, page.ps. Page.ps. Okay. Let us have this page.ts. Now, okay. So what I have to do is export default function login. Okay, so what we can do is actually let us write here. So let us do one thing. Let us ask ChatGPT generate a login page using table CSS. I only need a form with email and password field with JSX syntax. Let us copy this code, paste it right here. Okay, so so what's happening is because I have named it as .ts. So this extension should be .tsx, not .ts. So it's not recognizing the JSX syntax. Now let us see how our page looks like. Slash auth. Okay, I don't know why we can access. So let us see what's the issue in our middleware. Okay, so there are some issues right here. So I asked ChatGPT to fix those. Okay, and after fixing, I think yeah, now this works. Okay, there were some issues in the middleware, so now it works. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and remove the tokens by NextAuth, reload this, and you can see we can access this page right here. Okay, so I don't want this dark mode enable. Let us go to this globals.css. Let us remove everything, just this theme support. Okay, so now you can see we are getting this page here to log in. So let us just do one thing. Let us just go ahead and copy this. Okay, so before copying, what I'll do is post handle submit. Okay, is equal to e react.form event HTML for element. Okay. Now let us close our Windsurf AI. Here what I will do is, okay, I placed it inside wrong directory. I should have placed it inside this page.tsx file. Here, okay, so import React from React. And what I will do is, I will mark this as a client-side application, use client. Okay. So here what I will do is const await sign in. So this sign in will come from next.slash react. We will be using the credentials, and here let us provide in the credentials. Okay. So to bring in the credentials, first of all, this should be marked as an asynchronous function. So const user cred is equal to object dot from entries new form data e dot current target. Okay, so now this will automatically fetch out all the credentials from here. Okay, because we have this ID and name attribute, so it will automatically bring all the user credentials like email and password. Okay, so here let us provide on submit handle submit. Okay, on submit handle submit. Now inside this we'll provide dot user thread. Okay, now if response dot okay, if response dot okay, so what I will do is let us bring in the router const router is equal to use router. Now we should bring it from next slash navigation router dot push slash dashboard. Okay, router dot push slash dashboard e dot current target dot reset. Now what this will do after the success, okay, let us do one thing. Let us just set a timeout for the redirection. Set timeout 2 seconds. Router dot push slash dashboard. Okay. Now let us just copy this and create a register page. Okay. So what I will do is instead of writing like this, await fetch slash API slash register. Okay. Here we'll provide a method post. Okay. Headers content type application slash JSON. Okay. And then I will provide in the body. Body will be JSON dot stringify user cred. Okay. Now we don't need to sign in here. Don't need to sign in here. So what I will do is I will write here router dot push slash auth slash login. Okay. Now as you already have this, we have already have the credentials. Let us try that out. So it's actually going for a post request. What you have to do is you have to write here e dot prevent default to prevent the default behavior of the form e dot prevent default in both login and register pages. Okay, so let us also create a dashboard page. Dashboard. Okay, so let us only provide a form. Okay. So we don't require any user credentials, but only a sign out. Okay. So after sign out, don't require this response. After sign out, what we will do is we'll just redirect the user to /auth/log. Save that. And I think we're good to go. Save this and refresh everything. So let us try to log in and it should. Okay, let us see what happens. Let me see if there are any errors. Oh, there are no errors. There are no errors. It's actually taking some time. Okay, so if I click on logout, it will log me out. One second. Okay, e.even deploy. I forgot again. Logout. Okay. So we are coming here now. What I will do is I will add one icon library and trim I user react. Okay. So what I'll do is const is loading, set loading is equal to use state. React dot use state. Okay. False. So here what I'll do is I'll write here disable if it's loading is loading. Okay. So what I will do is I will go ahead and write here is loading ampersand. So a loader to okay class will be animate spin. Okay, animate spin. Let us close this also. So and let me just do one thing. Let me just do the same thing here. Const is loading, comma set is loading is equal to new state false. Okay, so here what I will do is disable is equal to is loading ampersand. So the loader to icon. Okay, and class name animates it. Okay, so I think we are now good to go. But wait a second. Okay, so what you have to do is let us just set loading to true here as soon as you submit the form. Okay, and after we are done with, if the response is okay, set loading to false. Also, if you're not getting the response as okay, still will set the loading to false. Same thing for this page. Okay, wait a second. In the register page, actually this particular set should be named as set is loading, not set loading. Set is okay. Here what I will do, if the response is okay, set loading to false. Also, if the response is not okay, still we'll set the is loading to false. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to create a session wrapper so that we can wrap our entire application. Let us create a components folder. Inside this, let us create a session wrapper.tsx. Okay. Export def mark it as a client component. Export default function session wrapper. Okay. So we'll provide children react node. Okay. So here what I will do is return session provider from NextAuth/React and let us return children right here. Okay. So why I am doing this, I will show you. So what I will do is here inside my layout.tsx, let us enclose the entire this part within the session wrapper. Okay, save this and you will see nothing happens here because we have not done anything yet. Hmm. So actually what should have I done is when the when we're loading now, if this is disabled, opacity should be reduced to 80% of the initial level. Okay. So I think it has already set everything. The session token as well. Let us delete everything. Okay. And also this button should have flex items center and gap of 8, which is around which is around 32 pixels. Let me copy this class and do the same thing here as well. Okay. Also inside the dashboard page, what I will do is const is loading from the set is loading is equal to react dot use state false. As soon as you submit the form, set is loading to true. And after that, after we sign out, set is loading to false. Now, while the button is disabled, I will do one thing. Cursor not allowed. Class name is equal to animate spin. Let's close this tag. Okay, I'll also do the same thing, that is cursor not allowed, in all of my remaining pages. Okay, so let us go to slash auth slash login, providing the credentials. Click on login, and this should work. Yeah, that works. And also what happens is, after I click item center, reducing the gap, okay, item center and justify center. We want everything to be centered, and let us reduce this gap to 4, that is around 16 pixels. Gap 4, justify center. Here also gap 4 and justify center. Click on logout. We are logged out. Okay, we are logged out. If I'll go to slash register, 404 not found. Okay, so this should be actually slash API slash auth slash register. Okay, what we can now do is actually in our dashboard page, okay, let's just wait till it creates the user account. Cannot read properties of none. Reading reset. What happened here? Cannot read properties of none. Reading reset. Handle submit. Without current target. Let us check if the user is created or not. Let us check our MongoDB compass. NextAuth tutorial. If the new user is created. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just not reset it from right now. I just remove that. Okay. So here what I'll do is let us wait for some time. Hmm. Now we will see that here, let us bring in. This is why I wrapped entire application with the session provider or session wrapper, you can say, to use this use session hook. Without those wrappers, this use session hook will not work. So here, what can I do is actually I can show one H1 tag. Okay, welcome user. Okay, so let us say session dot user dot email. Okay, dot split. Okay, dot split at the rate and 0. So let us save that. Welcome Laksh. Okay, welcome Laksh. You can see it showing like this. So what can I do is class name text Excel font bold text center. Okay, welcome Laksh right here. Let's see, it looks amazing. So let me just copy this inside this register page. Just show here register for a new account. I think this is looking fine. I will not waste any time on designing the pages. Login using credentials. Okay, so I hope this was a much detailed guide on NextAuth ever. You can also go ahead and customize everything. You can also go ahead and design the home page, the navigation bar. You can do anything you want. Okay, so this was all about NextAuth. Now, thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see you next time.